Blanche, what are you doing lining shelves on a Friday night?
I'm working off all my excess sexual energy.
Why don't we just hook you up to the toaster and make Pop-Tarts?
Remember when 4 women, 1 kitchen, and a never-ending supply of cheesecake somehow became one of the funniest and most loved sitcoms of the 80s? That was The Golden Girls. When the show first aired on NBC in 1985, it proved that 4 women over 50 could totally dominate primetime TV. Over 7 seasons and 180 episodes, Bea Arthur, Betty White, Rue McClanahan, and Estelle Getty turned a Miami house into television's most entertaining home, and we enjoyed every second of it. But behind all the laughs and that famous theme song, there's a lot you might not know, including which future Oscar-winning filmmaker once showed up dressed as Elvis. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and get hyped, because we're about to dive into 15 strange and amazing facts about the Golden Girls. Now let's get started. Number 1. Blanche's accent. That was all Rue in the end. When Rue McClanahan first read the script for Blanche Devereaux, it described her as being even more Southern than Blanche Dubois.
I ran into this man at the produce counter, and he asked me to play tennis with him tonight, but I forgot that Big Daddy's baby brother.
But when she got to the set, pilot director Jay Sandrich told her to drop the accent and just use her normal Oklahoma voice. You know, because why would a Southern belle sound Southern? Rue didn't agree, but there's only so much you can say to your director. When the Golden Girls got picked up, a new director joined, and Rue asked the producers if she should still skip the accent. They said, "Of course not. We want exactly what you did at the audition." So Rue went all in. She based Blanche's sweet, slow drawl on her cousin Pearl, a woman from southern Oklahoma who basically made up a fancy accent out of nowhere, like she was auditioning for Gone with the Wind at a church event.
It was an Ina Pearl accent. My mother's cousin, Ina Pearl, tried to put on something between an English and a ladylike Southern accent because she didn't like talking like this.
Rue took that idea and turned it into TV magic. A voice full of charm, flirtation, and a bit of self-delusion all at once. Without that accent, Blanche might have just been another funny roommate, but with it, she became the South's version of sex positivity before people even had a name for it.
Didn't wait for my wedding night, honey. I couldn't. I had these urges. You know, in the South, we mature faster. I think it's the heat.
Number 2. Estelle Getty was younger than her TV daughter. Here's some Hollywood math that might blow your mind. Estelle Getty played Sophia Petrillo, Dorothy's older, sharp-tongued mother. The character was meant to be in her 80s, weak but tough, with a face that said, "I've seen it all." The small issue? Getty was about 62 when the show began, and Bea Arthur, who played her daughter, was around 63. Yeah.
What's the catch?
Ma, there's no catch. I just realized I like taking care of you. I just wish you could have told me about the money so we could be honest with each other.
It's not that I want the money.
Dorothy was technically older. To make the illusion work, the makeup team spent almost an hour every day aging Getty with wigs, latex, fake wrinkles, and thick makeup. And it worked. The audience totally believed it. But then Getty made their job much harder. Between seasons 1 and 2, she got a facelift. If you look at Sophia in the pilot and then in later seasons, you can actually spot the difference.
You want poetry? You listen to Neil Diamond. You want good advice? You listen to your mother.
Early Sophia looked perfectly aged and worn. Later Sophia, though, had that just came back from a spa weekend glow underneath all the makeup. Getty later joked that she spent more time in the makeup chair than anyone else on set, stuck under layers of latex every morning just to look older than she really was. So yeah, Estelle Getty, the only actress who had to work hard to look older while playing someone else's mom. Number 3. The theme song was actually a reused pop song.
Thank you for being a friend.
Everyone knows the Golden Girls theme song. It's like a musical warm hug, impossible to hear without feeling something.
Your heart is true and a confidant. You're a pal.
Thank You for Being a Friend was written and recorded by Andrew Gold in 1978. It reached number 25 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 and number 11 on the U.S. Cashbox chart. For the show, it was re-recorded by Cynthia Fee, whose warm and soulful version became TV's ultimate sing-along.
Gold later earned several BMI TV Music Awards for the song's use in The Golden Girls. Birthday parties, karaoke nights, even the occasional funeral, this song has been sung anywhere Americans come together to feel something.
You would see the biggest gift would be from me.
The show itself was a huge hit with both critics and viewers, winning 11 Primetime Emmy Awards, 4 Golden Globes, and earning a lasting place in TV history. The theme song became an anthem for every unexpected friend group, every chosen family, and anyone who's ever needed a reminder that friendship can get you through anything. If you don't instantly sing along to the chorus, you might have to give up your nostalgia card. Whether you watched it with your mom, your roommates, or found it years later in reruns, this song always hits the same way.
Would say
Pure friendship gold.
and the card attached it.
Number 4. The cast had already worked together a lot. Want to know why the Golden Girls clicked so quickly from the start? It's because these women already knew each other really well. Bea Arthur and Rue McClanahan had already spent 6 seasons together on Maude from 1972 to 1978. Arthur played the outspoken liberal Maude Findlay, while Rue played her best friend, Vivian Cavender Harmon.
Vivian, how long have we known each other?
22 years.
22 years. We've been through an awful lot together.
A lot.
A sweet, slightly naive character whose lighthearted charm perfectly balanced Maude's sharp New York wit. Vivian was, in many ways, a warm-up for what would later become Blanche Devereaux. All the charm and grace, just waiting for the flirt switch to be turned on.
People are staring.
I don't care. I want my book back and I want it back now.
Meanwhile, Rue and Betty White had already worked together on Mama's Family in the early 80s. Rue played Mama's unmarried sister, Fran Crowley, and Betty played Mama's daughter, Ellen Harper Jackson, a proper Southern Belle type.
Glenn, I would like to have you meet my family. Hello. And my brother Vinton. And his wife, Mrs. Harper. Hi. And this is my Aunt Fran.
How do you do, I'm sure.
This is my mama, Mrs. Harper.
It's funny because on The Golden Girls, they completely switched roles. Betty went from refined to naive, and Rue went from reserved to confident and glowing. By the time The Golden Girls premiered in 1985, these weren't just skilled actresses meeting for the first time. They had history. They had rhythm. They'd spent years perfecting their comedic timing together on different shows. Basically, NBC didn't just cast a sitcom, they accidentally brought back a comedy dream team that already knew each other's timing. No awkward first-day energy needed. Number 5. Betty and Rue were cast in different roles, then they switched. This is how The Golden Girls almost turned into a totally different show. Betty White was first cast as Blanche, while Rue McClanahan was chosen to play Rose. On paper, it made total sense. Betty had spent years playing Sue Ann Nivens on The Mary Tyler Moore Show, a flirty, man-chasing schemer.
Just because it's my birthday, you don't have to go to all the trouble of going out and buying me a present. I'll do it for you.
Will $20 be enough?
Oh, $20 will be fine.
I bet you say that to all the guys.
And Rue had already played Vivian on Maude, a loyal, kind-hearted best friend who could be a little naive, but also dealt with real-world issues and serious conversations.
Well, you know how it is. The more you want to succeed at something, the more afraid you are of failure.
Like you last night, Arthur.
Failure.
So the producers thought, let's just have them do that again. But both actresses said absolutely not. They didn't want to be typecast. They wanted something new. Then pilot director Jay Sandrich made a bold suggestion. What if they switched roles? Betty would play Rose, the sweet, naive woman from St. Olaf, and Rue would play Blanche, the confident Southern belle. The moment they read the script that way, everything just worked.
Only once. But they shot him into a tree.
Did they ever shoot a herring out of a cannon?
After that, no other herring would do it.
Even Bea Arthur, who had worked with Rue on Maude and wasn't sure about teaming up again, agreed after seeing their chemistry. That one decision didn't just change the show a little, it completely defined it. Number 6. From Miami Nice parody to TV legend. So, how did the Golden Girls actually come to be? Well, depending on who you ask, it's either a sweet family story
or a total accident that started with a comedy sketch? The official, heartwarming version is that NBC president Brandon Tartikoff got the idea after watching his elderly aunt argue with her neighbor. Cute story, very wholesome, but maybe not true. Because the other origin story is much funnier. Picture this, it's 1984 and NBC is doing a fall preview special. Actresses Selma Diamond and Doris Roberts are performing a comedy sketch where Selma mishears Miami Vice as Miami Nice and starts joking about what a show about older women living in Miami would be like.
We're here to introduce a show that takes place in the most wonderful resort in the world, Miami. Land of Papatone and corned beef. Mink coat, cha-cha lessons, the Jackie Gleason show.
It's been canceled.
It was meant to be a quick joke, just a parody. But NBC VP Warren Littlefield was in the audience thinking, wait, that's actually a great idea. So Littlefield reached out to producers Tony Thomas and Paul Junger-Witt, who then brought in Susan Harris, the creator of Soap and Benson, to develop it. Harris looked at the idea and realized no one else was doing anything like it, a show where older women were the stars, not just side characters or wise grandmas giving advice now and then. She wrote the pilot, NBC loved it, and soon, a simple joke about mishearing the name of a cop show turned into one of the most loved sitcoms in TV history.
Golden Girls is certainly one of the most popular shows, but now it's a phenomenon. Books are being written, it's discussed on the internet, it's being rediscovered by a generation. Just wondering.
Sometimes genius doesn't come from a carefully planned pitch meeting. Sometimes it's just two experienced actresses joking around and one network executive who actually pays attention. Number 7. The Golden Girl who got fired after just one episode. Before Sophia moved in, the Golden Girls actually had another roommate, Coco, a gay live-in cook played by Charles Levin. He appeared in the pilot and then disappeared like he was never there. Imagine starting your first day at a new job and getting fired before the second episode even airs. That was Coco's entire Golden Girls experience.
Who's she going out with?
Harry, again.
Harry? Who is this Harry?
So what happened? Sophia Petrillo happened. Estelle Getty. Sophia was originally written as a small side character, just Dorothy's elderly mother who would stop by from Shady Pines once in a while. But Getty did such an amazing job in the pilot that the producers instantly knew they had something special. Sophia was promoted to a main role, which meant someone else had to be cut. And spoiler alert, it definitely wasn't going to be the tiny Sicilian woman with a wicker purse full of one-liners. The math was simple.
Did I mention the colic?
Ma, you're hurting my feelings.
Not as much as you hurt my uni. Ma!
You couldn't have two sassy characters fighting for punchlines in the same kitchen. Sophia brought the sharp wit and the emotional depth of being Dorothy's mom. Coco brought clever banter and a spatula. Not quite the same thing. It also didn't help that the pilot ran long and most of Coco's scenes were cut anyway. He barely made an impression before he was let go. Years later, Stan Zimmerman, one of the writers on The Golden Girls, admitted it was the right move for the show's balance, but he still wished they'd gotten to explore more of Coco's story. They even had ideas for him, like opening a bed and breakfast in Key West.
Tea, Sophia.
How about a shot of gin with a beer back?
From Golden Girl to B&B owner in gay-friendly Key West, that's quite a change, and it would have been pretty progressive for the 1980s. Instead, Coco became just a trivia answer. No goodbye episode, just gone. So here's to Coco, the Golden Girl who almost was. May your whisk rest in peace.
Number 8. B. Arthur said no to Season 8. The Golden Girls didn't end because of bad ratings or network interference. The main reason was that B. Arthur decided it was time to leave. After 7 seasons, she wanted out while the show was still loved. In interviews, she made it clear she'd rather leave on a high note than watch the show slowly fade into mediocrity.
Rose, that's a terrific story and surprisingly on subject, but I don't think that Blanche wants to hear about uncontented cows right now.
Her castmates were ready to keep going, but Arthur had made her decision. Some producers later said she was the only one holding out and that everyone else wanted to continue, though that's been debated. Either way, she stayed firm.
Without Dorothy's sarcasm and grounding, the core chemistry started to fall apart. NBC tried to continue with The Golden Palace, a spin-off with the 3 remaining leads, but viewers noticed Arthur's absence right away, and so did the ratings. Arthur's decision was classic showbiz pragmatism: leave while you're still at the top. And she was right. The original run of The Golden Girls remains one of TV's most consistent sitcoms.
Ma, you are trying to muscle in on a guy named Johnny No Thumbs? Are you crazy? He's probably connected with the mob.
Relax. If they were his friends, he'd still have his thumbs.
He's a very sweet man.
It was funny, smart, and strong through all 7 seasons. No desperate changes, no weak final years. Just 7 seasons of pure sitcom gold. Fans may have wanted more cheesecake nights, but Arthur knew the truth. Dessert doesn't stay sweet forever.
Number 9. The kitchen was reused from another sitcom.
In Sicily, we did it all the time, and we didn't have the modern conveniences you have today.
That iconic kitchen, the one where the girls shared coffee, cheesecake, and all their big life moments, wasn't built just for the Golden Girls. It was recycled. The set originally came from a short-lived sitcom called It Takes Two, also produced by Whit Thomas Harris Productions. When that show flopped after 1 season in 1982, the kitchen got a fresh coat of paint and a second chance. 3 years later, it became the emotional center for 4 women in Miami. And honestly, it was kind of brilliant. That hand-me-down kitchen became the heart of the show.
She's going to sit here where it's 112 degrees and eat enchiladas.
I just need some cucumbers to put on my eye.
Nearly every big conversation, funny, sad, or scandalous, happened around that table. Late-night heart-to-hearts, cheesecake therapy sessions, Sophia throwing out zingers while everyone else processed their feelings. That table gave out more life advice than most therapists, and the only copay was bringing cheesecake. So yeah, a set made for a forgotten sitcom became the backdrop for one of TV's most loved shows. Proof that sometimes the best things in life are hand-me-downs. Now, a quick question for the comments. Who's your favorite Golden Girl? Tell us below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Mine, by the way, was Sophia. Now, back to the countdown with
Number 10. 38 years made no sense. Continuity in sitcoms is usually simple. Keep the facts straight and nobody notices. But the Golden Girls had a math problem: Dorothy's marriage. Throughout the series, Dorothy keeps reminding everyone that she and Stan were married for 38 years.
Somehow I just can't picture Kate as Abraham Lincoln.
Now, Stan, do me a favor. Take off your hair and hold it up to Kate's chin.
Mother, you promised.
I know. Just ignore me, Stan. It should be easy. You've had plenty of practice.
their shotgun wedding happened because she got pregnant. A classic story. Small problem though. Her kids, Michael and Kate, are clearly in their 20s, maybe early 30s at most.
Oh, I am so happy. My daughter is marrying a doctor.
So, unless Dorothy spent 15 years married to Stan before the kids were born, the timeline doesn't make sense. Fans have spent years trying to fix the math, making detailed timelines, coming up with secret pregnancies, or blaming changes in the writing staff. But none of it really works. The truth is, the writers didn't worry about strict continuity. They focused on the punchline.
Dorothy, look, things happen.
Told me that my marriage was over. Things happened. You're damn right things happened. 38 years happened.
If 38 years sounded funnier than 20-some years, that's what Dorothy said. It's one of those classic sitcom mysteries, like how their house seems to have endless bedrooms depending on the episode.
Number 11. Blanche's wardrobe was so iconic, Rue took it home. Blanche Devereaux's clothes were basically a character on their own. Sequins, silk, feathers, animal prints. Every outfit looked like it came straight from a Southern socialite's dream closet. Rue McClanahan loved the wardrobe so much that she arranged a clause letting her keep many of Blanche's costumes after the show ended.
I'm not going to listen to this.
Listen, I know what I'm talking about because I was in a very similar situation once and he was a man of the cloth.
Smart move. Over 7 seasons, she walked away with a collection of gowns, robes, blouses, and accessories, some custom-made, all perfectly Blanche. She kept many as personal treasures, and even wore some to charity events, because why let perfectly good leopard print go to waste? After Rue passed away in 2010, her estate auctioned off pieces from her Golden Girls wardrobe, and fans showed up ready to spend. A sequined robe sold for thousands. A leopard print dress was gone in seconds. A feathered nightgown? Now someone is literally sleeping in sitcom history.
It's too tight, it's too short, and it shows too much cleavage for a woman your age.
Yes, Blanche, it's you.
Girls, is this dress me?
The auction proved what Rue already knew. Blanche's wardrobe wasn't just a bunch of costumes. It was iconic, and she made sure she got to keep it. Number 12. The Golden Girls built an entire TV universe. When the original series ended in 1992, the Golden Palace continued the story, with Rose, Blanche, and Sophia running a hotel.
Now listen here. We did this together. How could you do this to us?
I didn't do it. We all did it.
But the real universe building happened alongside the original show with Empty Nest and Nurses, two separate sitcoms set in the same Miami world where characters could appear anytime. Empty Nest premiered in 1988 and followed Dr. Harry Weston, a widowed pediatrician whose adult daughters moved back home. The daughters would visit his house and he'd show up at theirs. Sophia even joined that cast full-time after the Golden Palace was canceled in 1993.
There you are, you two-bit low-rent floozy.
She's ready.
Nurses launched in 1991, following hospital staff in the same city. And when NBC wanted to go big, they created crossover events like Hurricane Saturday, a 3-show storm storyline. Say that 3 times fast. It connected all the series in one chaotic night. For a while in the early 90s, NBC Saturday nights were wall-to-wall Miami sitcoms, all in the same universe. 3 shows, 1 city, endless crossover possibilities. It was the 90s. We had time for this. Number 13. B. Arthur spent 7 seasons pretending to like cheesecake. On screen, Cheesecake was basically the 5th roommate.
I just love it when we all get together like this.
Every crisis, heartbreak, and late-night confession happened over a slice at the kitchen table. Off-screen, B. Arthur couldn't stand cheesecake. According to George Geary, the baker who supplied cheesecakes for the set, Arthur only took a real bite once during the entire 7-season run. Most of the time, she just moved her fork around the plate while the cameras rolled, pretending to enjoy a dessert she didn't want. Meanwhile, Betty White and Rue McClanahan had no such issues. They happily indulged between takes. Estelle Getty joined them for nearly every kitchen scene, though whether she actually liked cheesecake or was just better at faking it than Bea remains a mystery.
Aren't there people who do that for a living?
Andy Granatelli does.
Although he doesn't actually fix them himself. I guess he doesn't want to get his trench coat dirty.
So, for 7 seasons, B. Arthur, the actress best known for Dorothy's deadpan sarcasm and no-nonsense attitude, spent countless scenes pretending to love the one food that became a symbol of the show. That's not just acting, that's commitment.
Number 14. Quentin Tarantino's Golden Girls cameo helped fund Reservoir Dogs. The show about 4 older women in Miami had a strange way of launching careers, including one that changed indie cinema forever. Back in 1987, a young George Clooney appeared in Season 2 as a detective using the girls' house for a stakeout.
They're here from New York on a fishing trip. Thus far, all they've caught is a cold. Nice touch, but I work alone.
This was years before ER made him a household name. Naturally, Blanche immediately started flirting with his partner played by Joe Campanella. Mario Lopez appeared as one of Dorothy's students in Season 2, Episode 21, Dorothy's star pupil, until she accidentally got him deported. That was 1987, a couple of years before Saved by the Bell launched. But the wildest cameo was Quentin Tarantino. In 1988, during Season 4, Episode 6, Sophia's Wedding Part 1, a then-unknown Tarantino appeared as an Elvis impersonator in a blink-and-you'll-miss-it cameo. He was wearing a white blazer, had full sideburns, and was barely visible in the background during the wedding scene. Here's the kicker. Tarantino later admitted that the small residual checks from that episode and other bit parts helped him stay financially afloat while writing Reservoir Dogs. So yes, a background Elvis gig on The Golden Girls helped fund the script that launched Tarantino's career. Without those cheesecake-loving ladies in Miami, modern indie cinema might look very different. Dorothy, Rose, Blanche, and Sophia, accidental patrons of the arts. Now, number 15. B. Arthur was not that fond of Betty White. On screen, Dorothy and Rose were comedy gold, the perfect odd couple with amazing timing. Off screen, not so much. In a 2011 interview, Betty White admitted that B. Arthur wasn't very fond of her and said she never really knew why, which is about the most diplomatic way to say your co-star didn't like you without starting drama. Bia's son, Matthew Sachs, later filled in some details. His mother came from a traditional theater background, stage, Broadway, serious training.
We'll always be bosom buddies. If life should reject you, there's me to protect you.
Betty's style came from improvisational TV comedy, which is a completely different approach than B's theater training. And then there was Betty's habit of talking to the studio audience between takes. B hated that.
Rose, that is a happy woman in there. Now, I want you to promise that you will not say anything. Do you promise? Do you promise?
She felt it broke focus and ruined the professional rhythm. Betty, on the other hand, was just being Betty, warm, chatty, and friendly with the audience. So they weren't best friends. But here's the thing, they didn't need to be. For 7 seasons, they showed up, hit their marks, and made each other funnier. The sharp, biting banter between Dorothy and Rose worked because both actresses knew exactly what they were doing. Professional respect? Absolutely. Deep friendship? Not required. Sometimes the best on-screen chemistry comes from 2 people who understand the job, even if they don't carpool to work together. And Dorothy and Rose, they nailed it every single time. And there you have it. 15 weird, wild, and totally true facts about the Golden Girls. Which one surprised you the most? Which ones did we miss? Let us know in the comments below. And hey, if you enjoyed this trip back to Miami, hit like and subscribe for more nostalgic TV deep dives. Until next time.